Well, you got me. This is the first time I'm recording something since I've had like whatever the hell I had that I freaking couldn't stop coughing for 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, yeah. How you feeling? You doing okay?
Yeah, I'm doing better. It's amazing what antibiotics could do for you.
Especially from medicine. A licensed physician.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to have that one. The Future Monkeys chat is fantastic.
All right. So let's get it going. Let's
ready when you are.
Get it rolling. Up, we're the Feature Monkeys. I'm Los, and there's no Beardy. Beardy's not here. He could have made it, but we have Mr. Fred Rojas.
Hello.
So Fred, this was supposed to be this is not your typical show that we're doing here. First off, this is something that I wanted to put together for you, for Beardy, and sucks Beardy's not here, but this was supposed to be something for the two of you mainly, to get on and to just talk excitement for what you got going on. And, this is going to be about, your trip down here to Florida to visit Disney, to do all the touristy stuff. And, I know we're coming up spring break, summer vacations right around the corner for a lot of people, and a lot of people come down here. So, this is something I wanted to throw out there to have for, those who happen to be listening to have as a reference to go on and to get excited for and all that stuff. So.
Yeah, I was going to ask you just right off the bat, I always imagine Florida to be like reverse of Kansas in that, in Kansas, when it gets cold, all the senior citizens leave. I think they go down by you guys. The birds split. Everyone just splits. And then they return. They're returning right now. The birds and the senior citizens are slowly making their way back. We have neighbors at the corner of our cul-de-sac again.
Oh, man.
I'm wondering if there is some big, massive, over 65, tropical t-shirts with ungodly flowers just leaving in droves right now.
They come and go very frequently. It is not a hoax. This is not some overreaction. They literally, like you said, they come in droves, and it's always like you said, it's not a coincidence when the winter months come in. That's usually when a lot of people come down here, and a lot of them have their own summer homes or, things like that they come down and all that stuff. So it's not out of the ordinary. You're not speaking out of terms. You're very head on. Right.
Well, you know what the most bitter irony is? My father owns a house in Daytona Beach, and he left it to us in his will. Now, he's not going to pass anytime soon, but I'm not going to retire anytime soon either. But I guarantee you, I'm going to be walking that path someday.
Yeah, we all had it. I grew up in New York, and it was my father had the same dream. He hated the cold up there, and he always wanted to move to Florida. So he bought a house like early 90s down here, and it's the same house that he's living in right now with my mother. And
there you go.
You know, that's what we did every single summer. For the entire summer, we always came down here. That was like our vacation. So it was.
There you go. See, your dad's living his best life.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so yeah, living the life, includes, the frequent trips to what you're doing right now, what you're planning, this is your thing. I know you've been mentioning it on and off on your show on, Gaming History 101 and all that stuff that's been going on. You've been planning, you've been doing all that. I feel the excitement in your voice when you're talking about it. I feel like you're holding back because you don't want to burden people with that. So.
Well, like, I don't want to cut you off, but like, yeah, no, right now, I'm about 24 hours from probably what I would like to think of as near the apex of this, because some of the planning stuff ain't great, especially when you don't know what you're doing and you know this all too well. Not only is your sage-like advice appreciated, but I've come a long way in 6 months as I've kind of pieced this together. And it is if you don't live near there, and I'm from Kansas City, like, it is a multi-stage process. And it's shocking to me how nonchalant it all kind of is. Like, Disney's not like, actually, I was shocked at how polite Disney is when you call them and ask stupid questions or seemingly stupid questions. And they're really good at answering them, and you don't wait on hold too long, and the guy doesn't sound like he wants to, end his career tonight. Like, yeah. But when you get to this point, especially, the biggest milestone was once you get done with the fast passes, once you've got everything kind of locked in, then it's just the countdown. And once you get to this point where we're like 72 hours out, and I really don't even consider it that, we've basically got Thursday, Friday, and then whatever. I don't know if I'll sleep very well Friday night. And then we fly out Saturday. And yeah, this is the best part because you don't have to worry about money. The money's been spent. We luckily did not go into debt. We'll be paying cash for this trip. Although I say that now, I have no idea what the hell's about to happen when I get there.
Man. Yeah,
you hope that you budgeted enough, but, in the immortal words of Chip, who frequents your area a lot, and, if you're not aware, as of like 3 days ago, is now an official Orlando resident as well.
See, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
he moved in like a month too.
I did not know that. Yeah.
Yeah, he picked up from Connecticut and moved. So, he's there.
Man.
And he's just like, there's no accounting for it. He goes, if you budget X amount, add whatever to that, and that's what you're going to spend because you already think you're okay and you're just going to spend.
Yeah. That's the best advice. Don't think you have any type of budget. You're going to be adding whatever it is you got planned. There's going to be an extra couple of $100 on top of that. So,
sure.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. And we'll get into it, I think, if we get into some discussions of what's going on. But yes, and we've already kind of done it. We already threw caution to the wind. I'm getting a nicer rental car than I normally would because Orlando is competitive for rental cars, but not the cheapest place. And to be clear, we're down there for 9 days. We're only doing a rental car for an extended weekend, when we go see my dad.
All right.
So the end of the trip is to unwind at my dad's house.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, you were, you were staying on property or off property? I forgot what it was.
I'm staying off property.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
I'm off, International Drive.
All right. Yeah.
And on the map, they look real close. In reality, people are telling me I'm roughly somewhere between 7 and 8 miles from the resort, from the Disney resorts, and then like a few more from Universal. I'm guessing the two are relatively close to one another. Last time I was in Orlando for vacationing for the theme parks was 94, so it's been a bit.
Yeah, you got a whole bunch of changes that you're going to be running into. But yeah, I drive is basically like the epicenter for tourists, for like the tourist area. That's like the main strip for touristy things.
Is it just a ton of shopping?
It's iDrive is basically like take Times Square and just like stretch it out into a long avenue.
Uh-huh.
And it's not as crazy and jacked up as you know, you don't have as many people per square inch there, but it's basically the same thing. It's just a whole bunch of restaurants and like shops and things like that. And it's not really some place where, well, you can walk around, you know, walk around there. But there's a lot of places that are pretty far from each other. Like if you wanted to do mini golfing, you could do mini golfing. But if you also wanted to go to a certain restaurant, you probably would want to get in the car and go to it because it's probably not walking distance, you know?
Yeah. So the couple of good bits is we are frequent users of Uber, both around here. Just when you don't want to have to worry about, you know, again, I don't know if you and your wife really deal with this, but my wife and I do drink from time to time. And when we don't want to worry about it, we use Uber. So, but that's not really the case in Disney. Last thing you want to be is hungover at Disney. So for us, yeah, we're going to probably Uber back and forth from the park. However, I did find out our resort does have direct shuttles to and from Disney, and they're paid.
Yeah.
So I actually like paid because that discourages some people.
Yep.
So we'll see.
Yeah. You'll get lucky. There's a ton of like hotels, resorts around iDrive area that will give you the shuttle to wherever you got to go, because everything iDrive, you got iDrive, next to iDrive is SeaWorld and Universal. So those are like the two theme parks that are right there by iDrive. Disney is going to be probably about, I'd say 10 minutes down the highway from iDrive.
Gotcha.
So it's not terribly far. You're not going to be spending a day driving to Disney from iDrive, you know? So.
And I hope not, because, you know, we're an hour behind you guys. So, you know, 9 a.m. And I'm laughing. 9 a.m. is when we want to get to the parks. And probably before that. So 9 a.m. your time is 8 a.m. our time, which means when we're getting up at 7 your time, which is probably more realistically when we'll get up. I mean, it's freaking 6 a.m. for us. I don't think I've been up at 6 a.m. in quite some time. I'm a little bit later of a shift at my work. I don't usually go into the office until between 8:30 and 9:30. So.
Yeah, it's always give it up for your vacation that you're going to be waking up at the wee hours in the morning and going all day and then having to do it all over again. It's like you're going to need, you know, the classic vacation from your vacation.
Yeah. And I mean, the good news is I didn't go too early on the fast passes. So,
yeah,
but I also didn't go too late. We mostly got them, you know, around 10 o'clock is our first fast pass of the day usually.
So go, do you want to get into that? How that process, go through that real quick, like what it was, booking whatever it was and then going through the app. Cause I know you said you weren't a fan of the app, doing that. Is that what you said? Or?
Oh no, actually I didn't have any problems. People, said they had problems with it, but I personally did not actually have, app issues, although they just updated the app. Damn. They just did. It got dynamic, they call it.
Yeah, they've been a little wonky lately for us. So it's something that they've probably
glad I got my fast passes. Yeah. So what you do with when you don't stay at Disney, they warn you. First of all, you don't get a magic band, and you know, you were kind of telling me the magic band. So actually, yeah, let me back up for one sec. What shocks me the most is just the whole buying process. You buy tickets, you're given like a code. I mean, it's it's weird because as a gamer, you would think we'd be totally used to this, but when you're spending $1,000 on Disney tickets, you're a little more, hesitant. And for the record, kids, it's more than $1,000. And if you think that's a lot, I only have one kid. So just saying. But yeah, we bought, so we're here 7 days, we're here 9 days, 9 full days. And, we bought 7 days worth of parks, but there's a little bit of, I'll get into how that changes a little bit. And then 2 days with my dad. All that said, we bought a 4-day pass for Disney, and it was single parks. And that was by design. I know there's a park hopper thing, and depending on the kind of trip you want to have, there's benefits to that. Because I think you were the one who told me Magic Kingdom's a 2-day park, really, at least. And like Hollywood Studios, for example, can easily be potentially a half-day park, depending on how you plan it.
Yeah, that is true.
So we got 4 days, Disney, and then we went to buy 2 days Universal, actually. And that one we did get the park hopper with the Hogwarts Express. Everybody very specifically told us just get that. You want to be able to move with some versatility between those parks. Yep. We skipped water parks for us because in Kansas City, believe it or not, we have quite a few water parks. 3, in fact. Oh, nice. Well, we had 3. We decapitated a child, and now we only have 2, unfortunately. Which that's because the people who designed that park were idiots. But anyway, we have 2 incredibly safe parks that we do like going to. And so while I definitely, from a personal standpoint, prefer water parks, I love SeaWorld and things like that, we opted out of water parks. My daughter's been to water parks. Believe it or not, the theme park out here is Worlds of Fun and Oceans of Fun. And we've been to Oceans of Fun 3 times with my daughter. We've never been to Worlds of Fun. So she's never in her life, outside of like county fairs, which gross. Anyway, she's never ridden like a roller coaster. She's never gone on a theme park ride. The closest she did was a Shrek Christmas D-box in the mall. So this is going to be something very new for my daughter. And so, we'll see how this goes, but she's eager, and we're fortunate enough. She's 53 inches tall. So she can get on basically everything from what I understand. She might even be 54.
That's a good height. I don't think there's much for height restrictions like at that height. I mean,
yeah, Disney said 48. You can get on everything. Universal wasn't quite sure.
Universal, I think I want to say the Hulk will probably be one of the only things that you will have trouble on if she wants to get on that. I mean, it's a little extreme. It scares the crap out of me. I mean, but
I love ridiculous roller coasters. We'll be able to find out pretty much at Disney. And we do Universal early on, actually, believe it or not. The more thrill rides we're going to do early on. And this is all based off of, this is all based off of population and like expected, traffic that day. There's these various sites that will provide you with, kind of, if you're willing to sacrifice to what they expect the best day to go is, you can really plan your week that way. And that's how, that's how we did it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good way to do it. That's a good way to plan it because it's always up in the air. Like right now, I've been following, this one account that I follow. They do pretty frequent updates daily on various things, various parks. They've been showing, the park, Magic Kingdom. They've been showing it the past few days. It's absolutely insane with spring break and Easter week, all that stuff going on right now. There's lines for rides that don't ever have lines.
Like Dumbo.
Yeah. There's the Swiss Family Robinson area that it never, ever has a line, but there was a line like a good hour deep to get in there. And it's been insane the past few days. And we pass holders, we're blacked out for the next 2 weeks, I think, something like that.
Yeah, so. And that's what I was told. Yeah, next week is a popular week if you did the website thing, because the websites kept recommending next week, which is why we did it too, because spring breaks are over. That doesn't discourage people from taking, like us, their own spring break, but spring breaks are officially over, and blackouts are still good for one more week.
Yep.
So
yeah, that's a good time to go to, because there's a lot of pass holes that you would run into, and it is like, it's insane how many people are pass holders that go, and that's usually like what really fills up the park, because when you get the busy days during the summer and all that stuff, there's a lot of people on vacation here. But on top of that, there's so many of us locals that want to go and hang out too. Yeah. So that's like an added stress to the numbers. So. Right.
Well, and I grew up around Six Flags Great America up by Beardy in the Northland of Chicago. And I mean, I'm not going to lie. Now, it was a different time. I don't know, but I guarantee this still happens. By the time I was 15, me and 4 other friends, all got season passes. Our parents bought them the day that the summer season started. And for summer, once we were 15, one of the parents would always drive us to the theme park, go to work, pick us up afterwards. And each parent had their day, right, of the week. And it would like fluctuate. And we lived at those parks, and it was funny too, because I bet our parents thought that there was some semblance of security because we're a bunch of 15-year-olds in a theme park. Yeah, probably nothing's going on, but I bet a kid or two disappeared once in a while.
Oh yeah.
But either way, so like I said, I don't think that's as widespread anymore, but yeah, like I totally know when you're a local to, a pretty massive theme park, like you just live there. If you can,
Yeah. I mean, so. I'm sure people are tired as hell of my frequent updates for all the various things that we do and all that stuff. But yeah, that's what we do. That's our thing here. That's like our local zoo to go to the.
It's a hell of a local zoo, my friend.
Yeah. And that's what it is, because when we used to live in North Carolina a few years ago, and we did our time up there for 5 years or so, we were just constantly looking for stuff to do, and we were spoiled. We were very spoiled, having had Disney and Universal and all that stuff, just whenever we wanted to go, and, we would go, and going up there and living there and not having that access. It's like, holy crap. That was a big, driving point to getting us back here, because we felt like it was missing for us. So.
Oh, I bet. And like I said, so the thing is, you buy the tickets and, for the site we bought from, they gave us, 3 days at Universal. So we have a third day at Universal that we could do. I don't think we're going to be honest. Okay. We'd love to. I just don't think our plans are going to work out that way, because it's something we're doing at the end of the trip, which I'll talk about. But as it stands, we're trying to do 6 days at the parks, 1 at each Disney park, and then 2 at Universal. And the 2 at Universal are actually back-to-back days. Yeah. Which can go both ways. One thing for sure, there is, Universal does have what I call the better than you pass. You basically pay twice the price for your tickets, and you get one, literally, from what I'm told, it's like less than 10 minutes. One, like, walk instantly onto the ride pass per ride.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And it costs, for our family, I think we paid $270 for our tickets for that day. Mm-hmm. And it's $290 to get better than you passes. And that's on top of the tickets.
That was, that's for all day, right? That is
all day, one ride. And then it's not called the Better Than You Pass, just in case people thought that was the case.
Oh no, that's they should write that on the pass. That's
well, exactly. And there is another pass that's even more. It's like $30-$40 more, and it lets you unlimited rides on unlimited. You could go on any ride you want unlimited times. So if you just wanted to ride the Hulk all day, you can just do that.
Yep. Well, let me tell you about Universal. All right. So looking back, a few years ago, we moved here. We got the passes for Disney. We got the passes for Universal, all that stuff. We wound up letting Universal go, and we stuck to Disney, for a few reasons. Because when we had Universal, we had the basic bitch pass that it did not have any access to, like what you just said, the get into.
Well, and you pay for that privilege. So like, if I was a local, I wouldn't have it either, because God knows what they charge for that.
Yeah. But you see, that's the thing. We didn't do that because we thought the same thing. We were like, we go whenever we want. It's fine, whatever. But having that fast pass availability, being able to book it at Disney for 3 rides every day or whatever, whatever the limit is.
Yep.
Being able to do that, it spoils you. And when you go to a theme park and you have to stand in the line, it's like the kids get antsy because they're not used to standing in the lines, because I guess we've gave them that freaking lifestyle, and it's terrible for us. But it's something that we learned we couldn't do anymore. And on top of that, it was very hard to enjoy Universal fully because, they have a fan run Facebook page, right?
Okay.
And you already, like, just the sound of that alone should tell you how that's going. But it's just the most toxic that you could imagine. You would think a page dedicated to like a family friendly theme park would not be as toxic, but it is overrun with people who do nothing but bitch and complain about other people who go to the park. And their main targets are families with kids.
Yeah. So, real quick, just to touch on that, what you quickly learn when you say you're going to Disney is I was unaware that the population of people who go to Disney is now pretty much a 50-50 split of people with kids and people who, for some reason, choose to go to a theme park despite having no kids that effing hate kids. Yeah. And it's the most amazing thing. We had friends who are just like, yeah, fuck kids. Like, no, I hate children. And I said, but you guys go to Disney twice a year. And they're like, yeah, and it's just the worst. Why the hell are there kids? They should have adult days at Disney, like at the pool. And I was like, the pool doesn't have an adult day. They're like, yeah, they do. I said, no, you get a 5-minute swim every 2 hours. All right, fine. If you want us all to clear out of Disney for like a Sunday morning, sure. Okay. You can go have mimosas at Cinderella's castle. That's fine if you want to play adult. But come on. And I said, they got rid of Pleasure Island because you guys were all just a bunch of dicks, right? Yep.
Oh, it's the damn truth. Holy crap.
But and again, but this, the way, and I talked to you about this, the way you run a Disney trip with kids is very different from the way you run a Disney trip without kids. And when I say Disney, I don't think anyone in our wonderful community is a stickler for this, but I'll just say it just to throw it out there. When I say Disney trip, I'm talking about the Orlando experience, including all other theme parks like, Busch Gardens if you go, or SeaWorld, or the water parks, or Universal, or just the whole thing as a whole. Even mini golfing is what I call a Disney trip. So that's what I mean when I say that. But yeah, like, my buddy was like, yeah, you know what you gotta do? You gotta pay that $70 and stay at Animal Kingdom late at night. And I said, I don't think my daughter's going to make it till midnight, bro. No, man, that's what you do. You tell her to suck it up. And I was like,
oh, man.
You don't, and you don't know this about him, but this guy who I'm talking about doesn't have kids. In fact, he's teetering on the verge of finding dogs to be too much responsibility. He's married. Him and his wife are married, but like, and you know, it's one of those things where, you know, he's in his late 30s, so he's not going to have kids. But I was like, you know, if you ever dial that back for a second and think maybe I should have kids, let me give you my kid for the weekend. You'll never have that thought again. And she's 7 and self-sufficient. So, but yeah, I do find that absolutely fascinating, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
The amount of people who hate children that go to Disney.
And it's very, very common. And, you know, we've had our run-ins with people. Like we've been told, the most recent one was when we were in a store with the stroller, cause we still bring the stroller for the youngest because, well, not anymore. Like we've stopped doing it a few months ago, but at this time when we were there, we had the stroller because we carried the bags on it. We carried, you know, whatever. And he would jump on there whenever he got tired or something. So we had it in the store and some lady, like, you know, just very loud next to us. I can't believe they let people bring strollers in here. They should leave them outside or they should not bring them at all. And it's like, okay, it's a good thing you're in a family theme park.
She said as she climbed into her cart.
Yeah.
That's the other one I love is, we've got people around here who are in motorized carts that complain about people with strollers all the time. And I was like, look, I know the traffic is a little much for you on these aisles, but like, it's okay. We'll all get through this. Some of us have motorized carts. Some of us have strollers. Some of us have regular carts. It's called a grocery store. So
yeah, it's just like entitlement that people have. Like they think they are the only ones that get to have fun. And that's the problem that we had with Universal. And it was like, you know, Disney has their people that do that, but Universal was just like concentrated, you know, and a lot of them believe that Universal should be for adults and not for kids. Like they should not have kids.
And you know, certain parts of the City Walk are, when we went to E3 and I swear that's not a humble brag. When we went to E3 like 9 years ago, Chip actually stayed on, the Universal Resort, out at, in California. And, so his hotel, quote unquote, restaurants were the City Walk. Yeah. So it's interesting. They're probably not the same restaurants from 9 years ago. And I know Orlando and LA will be different, but, you get a feel for what you can expect. And there were definitely non-kid friendly parts of the City Walk, you know, and even in Disney, there is, one of the places my buddy told me to go to in Epcot, is a very fancy tequila bar that's like in an underground, like a basement level, like adobo area of Mexico. And maybe not adobo. It might just be a little barrio, you know, just, you know, something down below. But kids aren't allowed in there. And so my wife and I were like, we'd really like to go there because they give you chips and salsa and guac. And you buy like a $15 tequila flight and you get 3 nice tequilas and stuff. And we'd love to do that. Yep. But if Autumn can't go, like, you know, cause it was funny too how my wife phrased it. I love my wife because she doesn't try to be funny, but when she incidentally is funny, it's fantastic for me. And so I said, well, you know, we could take turns. And she goes, no, when you and I go down there with our daughter and she eats chips while we have tequila flights, it's a family gathering. When you and I take turns going down into a basement to drink 3 shots of tequila, it's just shots. And she goes, we're going to be those parents that come out all lit up. And next thing you know, we're like that tennis girl from college that like got hammered at Epcot. And I said, fair enough. I said, you know, self-control does play a little bit of a part in it though, you know, but again, like that's something that, I know not everybody's for, but like that would be cool to do. And, you just choose to not do it, but, but, and who knows, they might allow kids, but from what I could tell, it was for adults only.
I know that, like, the difference between Disney and Universal, there's a lot of differences. There's going to be, like, when the youngest was really young, when he still didn't meet the height requirements and all that, Disney had about 80-90% of the rides that he could still go on. While Universal, there was probably like 1 or 2 rides that he could go on. There's a lot of differences. And, I know, like you were saying, that there's adult only things to do in Universal. There's a lot more of that there. So, it's like, I understand where people are coming from with that. And it's something it's
and that's why we chose to do Universal the way we're going to do it. So, and I'll get to this a little bit later, but, we are genuinely interested in the parks, and I think people take it for granted. Like, for your family, you guys have been to the parks, so you probably know them pretty well. But for Autumn, and so forget Autumn, for us, especially my wife, I think, because my wife always wanted to go to Disney when she was a kid and never did. Mm-hmm. So this will be my wife's first time at Disney as well. Because this is a combination, our 10-year anniversary gift, and taking Autumn. But exploring the parks themselves will be a large part of this outside of the rides. And so the way we saw it with Universal was, if we see something that has a short enough ride or something that looks cool enough we want to do on that first day, great. But it's really to go have some nice food at the City Walk. There's that, there's like a steampunk, like chocolate place or something.
That place looks awesome. We still have not been there, but like every time we walk by, it looks awesome.
We booked a meal there. So,
nice.
For dinner. So we're going to go do that and like check it out and just kind of get a feel for the park for the first day and probably see exactly what you said, which is crazy crowds, long lines, and a lot of bullshit.
Yeah.
And if we do see that, which full disclosure, we're expecting to see, the goal is to possibly, go to our 6:30 reservation at the chocolate place, which it is a chocolatier place, but they serve, it's a full restaurant. So we're going to eat dinner there. Anyway, once we get done with that, we might hang out at the park longer, but we might just go home and call it an early time. It'll be, we'll be just reacquainting ourselves. It's Monday night. It's our second night. And then get up early, get to the park first thing we can Tuesday morning, buy the Better Than You pass, and then it's really divide and conquer.
Yeah.
And ride all the rides we want to, which is up to and including me. There will probably be a handful of rides I want to ride that Autumn will not. And Julie will be a champ for me. And especially with the solo rider stuff, I hear that's part of it too. And to be fair, if my wife ever wants to, she can as well. But
they have a child swap for everything. So that's,
cool.
That's something
I didn't even think about that.
You could all get on the line and then when it's time to get on, one of you goes to the side with the kid and then get on, then you swap when you come out.
Now, do we have to determine that in advance or can we just get to the front and be like, oh, we're going to child swap?
Yeah. You go through the line. Like there's no special line for child swap.
Okay, good. That's what I mean, because what we'll do is try to encourage the kid to go with us. And then if she bitches out, which she probably will in some cases. Then yeah. So
there's a good amount of rides in Universal that you definitely want to get on. You want to try and get her on too because they're fun. And and it's the one that I would say that would probably be iffy. I don't know how she takes that stuff would be Kong. The Kong ride. It's a lot of fun. It's a good ride. It's fun to get on, but that line, when you're going through it, it could be kind of intense because there's a lot of stuff going on. There's
So my kid likes to be scared like me, just so you know. She likes, scary stuff. You ready for me to get the bad parent award? My daughter has seen both Alien and Halloween already.
Oh, there you go. She'll be
and
fine.
For us, our rule is pretty simple. PG-13 is our rule, but not without me. Anything that's PG-13, I have to have seen first, and we kind of pick and choose. And so she has been dying to watch Gremlins ever since she was a kid, and we were like, no. And so then this Christmas that recently passed, we said, okay. You want to do Gremlins? Let's do Gremlins. And I was ready for her to not sleep through the night. Mm-hmm. And she loved it. She did get scared at times, but like had fun doing it and loved it. So then it was sometime a few months ago, we were looking, and I guess some cable station aired Halloween, and it's uncensored. They aired the uncensored Halloween, and they re-rated it for TV, cause it's the TV ratings instead of the normal ratings. Yeah. And it got re-rated to TV 14. Because by today's standards, Halloween, there's actually almost no blood in it. Halloween is it's scary. It's a noir film, but it's not violent by any stretch, right? The average sitcom is probably bloodier than that these days. Anyway, so because of that, I said, okay, well then we'll watch Halloween. We watched Halloween. She freaking loved it. She's over there, and I have a huge horror collection. And I've always left the DVDs out. We don't block her from them. We just tell her no. And she has very much learned that she doesn't want to find out what happens if she tried to watch it. And then we have a Plex server, which is the other way I fix it. We only have one Blu-ray player in the house. Other than that, everything is through Plex, and Plex is restricted. She's restricted to just G and PG, and then I get to manually move PG-13 movies for her. And the server won't even let you override her. So and I did that just in case she talked her mom into it, or she talked her uncle into it. They wouldn't be able to do it. They could add it to her list, but it won't show up on her Plex. Anyway. But yeah, she watched it. She loved it. Next thing I know, she's walking up to me with Friday the 13th, and she's like, look at this thing. Let's watch this. And I said, yeah, no. She popped up with Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I was like, crap. That cover alone doesn't instill fear. And she goes, well, yeah, it's going to be scary, but let's do it. And I'm like, okay, not yet. So we'll see how this all goes. Yeah. But at the same time, roller coasters are intense for her. And she has like I said, on the county fair, they put her on the pirate ship, the mean pirate ship where you go back and forth and almost go upside down. Yeah. She did not care for that. And few do, to be fair. I don't really care for that experience myself. But so I know she doesn't dig some of that stuff. Mm-hmm. But I think she'll go for a roller coaster. Well, we're going to find out, because she's going to go whether she likes it or not on some of them, on the Disney ones. Yeah. But at Universal, we'll see. But we've kind of prepped her. She's a big Transformers fan. Although I haven't shown her the worst of the Michael Bay films. She's only seen Transformers and Bumblebee, so she's had it pretty nice. And I hear there's a Transformers ride.
Dude, that is a must go. That is must do. That ride is one of the best rides they have. It is so well done. The kids freaking love it. They love to go whenever we go. That's one of the main ones we go on. Whenever we.
Is there still a Jurassic Park ride?
There is. It is. They just fixed it up. They did something to refurbish it, but it's still there. It's supposed to be closing soon. They're supposed to be remodeling to update it for the new movies. Mm-hmm. So, we thought they had already started because we went one day and it was closed. But we went 2 weeks later or something and they had reopened it. So it's not yet that they shut it down, but it's still going. But,
and then of course we've got her. She has now officially seen, Harry Potter 1 through 4.
Yeah.
She just got to watch my favorite one, which is Goblet of Fire. I love watching the coming of age stuff. And actually, if you've listened to the GHX that just came out, then you probably know this already. But yeah, I love coming of age films. I love the awkward pubescent periods. And I think Harry Potter, that movie in particular, handled it not quite as well as the book, but as well as they could. And so I thought that was great. So she's ready for Harry Potter.
So Harry Potter, let me tell you something about this.
I'm all ears.
About Harry Potter Land. It is by far like probably the best experience you'll get walking around.
Okay.
It is like, seriously, I could go to either parks, Harry Potter Land, cause, we got, Universal, they have, Diagon Alley, and
cool.
Islands of Adventure has Hogsmeade. So either one, you're gonna get one hell of an experience walking through it, because it's just the theming is so well done. It's so good. So fulfilling if you're a fan of the franchise, if you know anything about it, if you've enjoyed the movies or enjoyed the books, you're gonna want to stay there for like a good half day. Just nice. That area. So, be ready.
And again, that's what but see, that's the thing. When we're there on the first day, we can just say that. We can be like, look at these lines. This sucks. Mm-hmm. Let's just, I'm sure early on, I might be wrong, but traditionally, if you get to a park like right around opening, unless it's the most popular rides in the park, which to be fair, Harry Potter might be, but we might see a couple of rides where we could get on within an hour or something early into the day. But yeah, if you get around noon 1 and it's just like, it's a wash, then you're like, okay, let's just get to know these parks, explore them, and actually again, take in the spectacle of the park. People asked Autumn what the number one thing she wanted to see at the Magic Kingdom was, and she goes, Cinderella's castle. Yep. She just wants to go check out the castle.
There you
go. But the other thing about Universal is, unlike Disney, it's a little more traditional. Like, I bought the tickets, I print them up, they've got barcodes on them, and I guess I just walk up to the kiosk and scan them, and I get a 3-day pass out of it. I don't even know how that's going to work. Did they give me a card or something?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, you go, if it should say it on the paper itself.
On the ticket, it says this is a 3-day pass, and it says adult, and child. And it literally says in bold right underneath the barcode, take this straight to the key, entrance to the park.
There you go. So,
but do they give me anything for day 2 and 3 or?
Nope. If that's what it says, then that is your ticket. So you're going.
Or then do I just rescan it for days 2 and 3?
I would assume that's what you're doing.
Oh.
because that is, if that is your ticket, if it's saying you got to go up to the kiosk and just scan to enter the park, then
they said just take it to an attendant. This is your tickets in. And so maybe I'll call them just to be like,
it would say, take me to guest services to get a ticket, because that's...
Yeah, and the ticket specifically says, don't wait in the big, long guest services line. Exactly. You don't want to do that.
Yep. So, at least with Universal, one thing you got going for you, that's been very, very, consistent lately with Universal, they've been typically slower than Disney. Disney.
And we're going on the days we were recommended to go.
Yeah. So you should be okay. Because Disney has been batshit crazy, with a lot of stuff lately. And we would go to Disney and it'll be absolute nut house. And then we'd go to Universal the next day. And it's like a cakewalk getting in.
They're playing street hockey in the middle of the...
Exactly.
Well, and real quick, just in case you can hear it on the recording or I disappear, which is doubtful for the latter one, a wicked thunderstorm that was supposed to hit at noon didn't show up all day and just hit.
Awesome.
But it's actually a cool thing, and I can just ride through it. But I don't know if it's picking up on the mics. But yeah, Disney, very different in every which way on how it's organized and everything.
Oh yeah. Yeah. They got a lot more stuff to get in a row. Cause, Disney, you have 4 parks or something like that.
Well, and you plan your trip a lot more.
Yeah, exactly.
As you can tell, if people can't tell, you'll see when we talk about the second half of this, which is the Disney side.
Yeah.
I have a much better idea of what's going on than I do with Universal.
Yes. Yeah. And that's because of all the planning you have to do. It's crazy how meticulous it could get with the planning, with all that.
Because what you do is you buy the tickets, and like I said before, like for some reason, yeah, like I paid, $600 or whatever for my tickets, and it's like, okay, I print them up. Now I take them up to the kiosk at Universal, and I know how this works. Disney, they're like, yo, don't bring this shit to the park. Like, don't do it. They're like, here's your code. Here's your 12-digit code. I was like, that's a small code. Everything Disney does is 12 digits. I was like, what? They're like, yo, here's your 12-digit code. Now you need to go to the My Disney Experience website and you need to make yourself an account. Okay. I'm Bruce the Shark. That's my little logo. And then my wife picked Bruce the Shark, so we fucking two Bruce the Sharks on the same account. I know. She took my avatar. Anyway, and you plug in these things and they're gone. It's like, thank you. You've redeemed 12 days at Disney. And you're like, wait, what? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, wait. They're like, you have not 12 days. They said you have 3 4-day passes. Yeah. And they're like, do you want to put these with one person? Do you want to put these with multiple people? And I'm like, multiple people. And they're like, well, silly, tell me who's going with you. And you're like, it sounds so rudimentary, but it's so foreign to me, to be honest with you. And you put it, so we put in Autumn, we put in my wife, we put in me, we put in our ages, so they kind of have a feel for us. And then you tether the tickets, and they're like, great, your tickets expire in, December 31st, 2019, and you're good. And I remember calling Disney, and God bless him, the guy who answered. I was like, so that's it? Like, I just show up and say, I'm here to redeem these? And he goes, yeah. And I was like, really? And he goes, yeah. And he goes, you got 7 days to use them all? And yeah. And I said, oh, okay. So explain to me this Magic Pass thing. So, and real quick, if you stay at a resort, you get 2 major perks, outside of staying at a resort. The 2 major perks are, 1, you can do Fast Pass 60 days in advance instead of 30, which is advantageous. And also you get Magic Bands for free, which we bought limited edition ones, to be honest. We didn't get anything as dope as that Spider-Man one you tried to get me.
I heard you bought them. That's right.
Yeah, that son of a bitch, man. Now your Spider-Man one? Yeah. He's like $100. That was a collector's item you were offering to grab from me. Yeah. No wonder they disappeared.
Yeah, sometimes you could tell when they're released. And it's funny because right before you started talking magic bands, I just went to the site where I go to magicbandcollectors.com. And you could tell, fairly quickly whether or not it's going to be something you want to go out and get right there. And Spider-Man, when that came out, it's like, I knew it, like that. I need to find that now. And I was very lucky when I did find it. And
yeah, because you offered to grab it for me, and it was not 20 minutes later, and you were like, "Bro, they're gone." Yeah, sorry. Yeah. You could see it in Los's voice because he's like, so I don't know how to tell you this, but I turned around to go back, and there was nothing to go back to. Yeah. And you know what? To be fair, I almost grabbed the Nightmare Before Christmas one, which surprisingly didn't seem to go up that much. I think Disney was selling them for $25, and they were selling on that collector site for like $30. Yeah. But they couldn't promise me that it would arrive in time for me to go. We bought our Magic Bands pretty late in the game. But you can tether those, and you don't even need them. But they're just like a wristband to carry you through the park. That will allow you to spend money on them if you want to put a credit card on them. But you just tether them to these people. So now, and this is the part I was going to ask you, Los. So now that we have our tickets tethered, we have 4 one-day passes. We have our Magic Bands, and we have our names in there. Yep. Is it really as easy as we just walk into the front gate and try to redeem them? Or how does that all work?
Well, if you have your Magic Bands, and you have everything set up on your app,
like when I go to my app, it shows the tickets tethered to each person. Bless you.
So, did you already link your Magic Bands to your tickets?
We linked our Magic Bands to the people. Do we have to link them to the tickets?
So in your app, When you go to your tickets, like let's say
Tickets
yours,
and passes, yeah.
like if you go to your ticket and pass, you will find, let me open mine up so I can know what I'm looking at. I did it like 10 times and I gotta make sure like nothing changed on me, but it's, you're going to be going, oh, look, I got to sign in now. Damn it. All right.
I mean, like mine just shows the three of us and it has our tickets. And you can't click on them.
All right. So,
but they are assigned to us individually.
These mother freaking changing the damn app. All right. So.
Link tickets and passes.
Yeah. All right. There you go. That's what you're looking for. Tickets and passes. So you put the enter ID code. There is a number on the back of the magic bands.
Yeah. So and I've done that to us, but I guess I've got to also link it again.
Yeah. You link your magic band, right? You put the code in there and it's going to say, who do you want to link this to? And then you put
I've done that.
Whoever done it is. So after all of that is set for all your people, then theoretically, all you will need is your magic band. So that's going to be your ticket because it's all linked up. So that's,
so like, yeah, when I look at my, look at your party, so to speak, it shows like Autumn and it shows her inside out magic band next to her.
There you go. So,
and when I go into tickets, it says Autumn has a 4-day pass.
Yeah. So whenever you go to the parks, that's all you'll need. You could bring the paper passes. They will still work because it's all the same.
Oh no, they say they won't work.
No,
for ours. No, the so certain Disney ones. Yeah. They're like, no.
Yeah. Because we have our passes, our cards that we were given when we got the passes, and we could link, however many magic bands we want to freaking buy. They're not going to limit you on that. But we could interchange, between the passes or the bands or whatever like that. So I guess it's different with paper passes and the sort. But,
yeah, I mean, but like you said, I just basically, so yeah, when I click on it, it goes, yep, here's the magic band. You've got Disney villains. Here's its code. And
yeah,
I think I'm good.
They make it really easy to link up stuff and things like that. Once you figure out the steps, once you figure out the steps, it's, that it was easy. It just, nothing is as simple as it should be, but whatever.
It's surprisingly simple though. It's just scary at first.
Yeah, exactly. Cause you don't want to mess up your ticket that you spent
You're like,
so much freaking money on.
$1,200 mistake.
Yeah.
So to be fair, like the guy walked me through it and it was really funny because he was like walking through it. But then you're like set basically, and you just walk around and you're kind of good to go. And even if you lose the magic band, I can just jump on the app real quick if Autumn loses her magic band and just be like, whoop, unlink that.
Yeah.
Nope. If it's found, it can't help anybody.
And, when you're in the parks too, there's plenty of places to buy other magic bands. And I'll tell you right now.
Sure there are.
I'll tell you right now, you're going to be here for the weekend of the Avengers, right?
Yes. Yes, right. I will.
So I'll give you a heads up cause there will be.
And I will be at Disney Springs.
Yeah.
The day of Avengers Endgame. Well, we're at Animal Kingdom on that Friday, the 26th. But on the 27th, we're at Disney Springs actually seeing Avengers at Disney Springs.
That's going to be an awesome experience. I was
happy with that.
That is the place to go if you want to watch it.
And I'm part of AMC's like A-list. And so they let me use one of my 3 freebies, every week for it. And I booked tickets, didn't pay any service fees. And, we got the 2:15 3D showing.
Hell yeah.
But I'm old, and I'll tell you why. Chip had to laugh at this because Chip's actually going with us, him and his wife. And I said, I was sure to get us an aisle seat. And he goes, okay. I said, well, that's a big deal, And he goes, why? And I was like, well, because it's a 3-hour movie. People have to pee. He goes, I can make it through a movie without having to pee. I said, oh, I can't, bro. I'll go twice probably throughout the course of this movie. This is a bigger deal for us. And he goes, okay, that's your thing, man.
Oh man.
But yeah, no, Chip can he can just rock it. But it was a big deal for me to get an aisle. So, but yeah, we are in the middle of the theater too. We're in the middle row. There's 3 sections and we're in the middle row, middle of that section, section N. And, yep. I got to be careful. At this point, people can find me. But,
well, fun fact. I used to work in that movie theater.
Really?
That was my first job when I moved down here. It was in that movie theater, and it has changed significantly. It's insane how much different it is now compared to what it was back then. But
nice.
you picked a good spot, especially for, Marvel movie and all that. But
we got lucky. Actually, AMC's site, I guess, broke because Chip was like, tickets went on sale today. You should grab those if we're going to go. And I said, okay. And I went and looked and I said, there are a ton of open seats. And I bought the tickets and it took forever. I thought it was broken and it went through though. And it's on my plans still when I look. But then I got an email 3 hours later that was like, we're sorry that the website wasn't available to let you buy tickets. We hope you jump at it now. Most seats should still be available. And I was like, oh, we got in because of a broken, we were I was of the 10% that was able to buy AMC tickets the morning they went on sale and didn't realize I was part of this illustrious group. So I think that helped me get to pick because I was like, Disney Springs on opening weekend. I'm surprised it's so open.
Yeah.
Disney gets you in that whole vibe of planning everything.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it does. Yeah, and you're on top of it, so that's good. You're ahead of the game.
Got lucky.
But yeah, I tried looking for Disney Springs, but when the wife finally said to me it's probably not gonna happen that we're all gonna go watch it. Mm-hmm. And it was one of those things if we don't all go, then we're probably not gonna be able to watch it till it comes out on video, on Blu-ray. Mm-hmm. So she was like, you could go by yourself or you could take the oldest, and it was one of those things I was messing with, do I want to? Because I feel bad the wife not going because she's been into it too. But push came to shove. I got the last 2 tickets for our local theater here, and it's for the fan appreciation.
Oh, nice
one. The special. The first showing before.
Yeah, it's the Thursday night one or something, right?
Yeah, it's a 5:00 show.
Nice. So Autumn wanted to do something like that, and I was like, honey, that's our Magic Kingdom day. That's the day we're going to be at the park the longest. I can't do it.
Yeah. It's going to be crazy, and the kid, he doesn't know yet, so. But
that's awesome, man. Congrats.
Yeah, we got lucky. That was. So hopefully the ticket is good. I mean, it's front row. So hopefully it's not that crazy. But,
your neck might feel like mine does right now, at the end of it, but it won't feel that way in the beginning. And I don't know if you'll really care. I saw Spider-Man 2 in the front row. And I remember my brother, my wife, who I was dating at the time, and her brother, now my brother as well, was like, oh, this is going to suck. And we saw Spider-Man because it's a Spider-Man movie. And I'm talking Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 2. And we went and saw it. And, it's a Spider-Man movie. So it was like, are we going to get motion sick because we're that close to the screen? And it actually worked out. I'm not saying people don't get motion sick. I'm just saying it wasn't that bad. And we actually enjoyed that film. So you'd be surprised.
I'm hoping to push through it. But this Avenger tangent that we got on. For what I was saying, what started it, you're going to want to set aside like $40 because there's going to be, an Avengers Magic Band that comes out that weekend, I'm sure.
Oh, nice.
So, if you want me to give you the heads up on that, I know.
Like I said, that Saturday I'll be at Disney Springs. I think there's a place to go buy it, right? Or am I going to even get lucky enough to find a spot in Animal Kingdom that could probably sell it to me?
Well, they're very random where they sell them. Like sometimes they'll have it in like one or two select stores throughout the entire resort. So the all Disney property, it's only going to be in one place. Sometimes they do that, but most of the time it's like, pretty spread out and all that stuff. So you should have a good chance of getting it.
Just need to keep an open eye.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's going to be crazy. It's going to be nuts. But, you got everything set up for Disney and everything's up in the air for Universal. Was there anything else you wanted to touch on?
Well, just real quick. So I wanted to speak very briefly to the Magic Pass situation.
Okay.
Or Fast Pass. So Fast Pass, obviously, you just reserve it. And do you just walk on the ride, or is it just like a shorter line? Nobody's been real clear with me on this.
It really, really depends because when you're doing it, right? You, in theory, Fast Pass is Fast Pass. You scan your thing and you go through a shorter line and you get on the ride quicker than everybody else. But the freaking reality of it is that's so disappointing. It is that a lot of people have the same Fast Pass for the same time. So that creates a line in itself.
And I figured that was the case.
And, for some rides, it's very quick. You're in and out and you're done. But for other rides, there's typically a line for the Fast Pass, like for, Buzz Lightyear, the Space Ranger ride in Magic Kingdom, that always has a line for the Fast Pass. So, you can't really account for it, cause it's pretty random. It depends on the time, the day, how busy it is, all that stuff. But, if you have a Fast Pass for something, you're not going to be there for the crazy amount of time that other people are. Your line is going to be insanely shorter, but there still might be a line.
So with those, you do them 30 days in advance when you're not on a resort like us, which already I knew certain things we weren't going to get, but I was surprised. We actually got every single thing we went for, except for one. And this was one that I think you and your wife had already warned me I was probably not going to get. Yeah. And you were right, which was the Na'vi Air ride at Animal Kingdom. They were gone. They were gone in advance.
Yeah.
Now, I thought they would at least hold back a couple and go for them. But, I think it was Chip and a buddy of mine were saying, no, they kind of like to tell people when you stay at a Disney resort that there's a couple of rides that most people don't get if they're not staying at a resort.
Yeah.
So what I was told to do was just get there in the morning and, try to get in line for it, right at opening. And it's going to be a long line regardless, but
yes,
what's an hour if you really want to ride it? And they're like, if you can get in there and it's only an hour long line, just fucking go.
That an hour long wait for that ride is a blessing. No. I know. I've seen the 4 hour waits.
And that's why it's like you just walk in, you know where it is in the park. You walk in at opening and you just get in line and you just try to figure out how long that's going to be.
Yeah. And no lie, no overreaction with it or anything. You want to plan your day around that. Like, right. That is exactly what you want to do. You want to get into the park, get to that line, and then when you're in that line, figure out what you're doing after that.
Well, you know how much I know that? Guess what my first fast pass for Animal Kingdom is? 12:35. Yeah. I planned that, and then we've got our rides, and I'll shoot through these real quick. But last but not least, so when you're in Central Standard Time and not Eastern Time, your time to sign up is at 7 a.m. Eastern Time, which is 6 a.m. Central Time. So what I did for a week was get up at 6 a.m. and it just like the floodgates open, and it was like almost like right at 6 a.m. And it's just this Flight of the Bumblebee bullshit, and it's just psychotic. And I didn't realize that until Magic Kingdom Day, Los, because I just got lucky. I just knew what I wanted, and I just grabbed them as soon as they came up. And so I was like, I don't know what everyone's talking about until Magic Kingdom. When that shit started flip-flopping, and that's when the chaos gets out. The fucking app died. It shit the bed and just was like, I'm not going to work right now. Nope. Sorry. Nope. Fast passes do not exist. I got a error message that said, there is either no server or no app. And you look at your phone like you're like, huh? And I still managed to come out okay on that.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I did was I kind of spaced them out. You kind of have a feel for, so what we did was we tried not to focus too much on the parks because I do still want it to be exploration. But you do start to get a feel for when you're walking the park, where things are. And we tried to fast pass around that stuff because I didn't want to live my life on the fast pass. Some people do. And if that's your thing, you know, my cousin, she linked up the fast passes so that she had them all spent by like noon, and she was ready to go get some more. And she had a fucking map that like told her, and she did this with kids. She's insane. She does with 3 kids. She had maps that told her like, oh, cut through like this gazebo because it saves you 28 steps and stuff like that. And I'm like,
holy crap, man.
Yeah. And she had like an app that was like, I'm just warning you, in about 3 minutes of dawdling, you will no longer be able to keep this itinerary. And I was just like, but she loved it because she got to come out. You know, it's like my dad was always this way with trips. My dad always liked to just, nobody pees. You just, you just take the diaper off as the kid's hanging his butt out the window in order to change the diaper. And you pull up along a gas truck to gas up just so he can run in and be like, we made it in 4 minutes faster than last year, and so if that's your thing, you can do that. I'm too mellow in my older days and I can't do it. But, if you're cool with it, and then the other thing was I don't get up until usually about like 7:30, 8 a.m. I couldn't get back to sleep those days. I was groggy as shit because your brain is working so frantically for those 3 or 4 minutes, and that's all it is. Within 3 or 4 minutes, that park's fast passes are gone.
Oh yeah.
Don't even pretend that. If you sleep through the alarm, fuck it. Just wait till the day of and try to snag them up. That's what Trees was telling me. He goes, on the day of, people will start releasing that stuff. If you just keep an open eye on it, you can somewhat navigate it as long as you're not trying to get anything too popular.
Yeah.
And so, but if you want to real quick, I can, or maybe I shouldn't, but I can tell you what we grabbed at each park, but maybe we don't need to, but.
Yeah. If you want to hit the highlights, what you're excited for and all that.
Yeah. So these are all the rides we wanted. Autumn and I and Julie picked them all. And these were the ones we wanted other than the Na'vi one. And we picked 4 for Animal Kingdom, fully expecting not to get Na'vi. So we did technically get everything we wanted. So at Epcot, we're doing Spaceship Earth. Frozen Ever After. I had no idea Frozen Ever After was the tough one to get, but apparently it is.
You did luck out right there. That is
yeah. Something. And we got it at like a good time too, which was 12:30. And then we're doing the Seas with Nemo and Friends.
Gotcha.
Trying to push her to a different one, but she wanted to do that. So, okay, whatever. We're doing that one. Anyway, then at Hollywood Studios, we're doing Star Tours in the morning. We are doing the Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular. I remember seeing this as a kid and still remember it. I wanted to see it so bad, and my daughter loves the Indiana Jones films.
Hell yeah.
So she's going to dig that. And then, unbeknownst to her, we leave the Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular, and almost immediately, that's from 1 to 2. And then almost immediately, we're at 2:30 for the Tower of Terror. She goes, "What is that?" And I was like, "Oh, it's great." Yeah. I said, "It's fun. It's a crazy elevator ride. You'll see." She's never going to.
And she never went on another elevator again.
Yeah, exactly. We are on the first floor for our resort, though, so I guess that's the good news. But and then that at Hollywood Studios, we also spent, I forget how many hundreds of dollars, and I'm not kidding. Like, I think it was over $200. We're doing the Galaxy Spectacular Dessert Party. So
yeah, that's right.
Desserts, apps, and drinks. There are alcoholic beverages included in this from 7:30 to 9, and then you get special senatorial box seats for the Star Wars parade.
Yeah, I'm jealous of that because I've heard about those dessert parties. Sometimes when we're in the parks, we see signs like this way for the dessert party or whatever. And it's like, damn it, I want to do that one day.
Yeah. And I didn't look because I like to be surprised, but my wife, who has no soul, did look at everything they serve. And it's kind of like when you watch Aquaman with your wife, like she's making these sounds when Jason Momoa does certain things you've not heard in a long time, not since you guys were dating. She's oh my God. You're just like, what? And she goes, "You didn't want to know." And I said, "No, I don't want to know. I don't want to know." The other thing I loved, and I think you'll get a kick out of this, is I looked at the drinks and it's nothing but fruit drinks. And I said, yes, umbrella cocktails. I said, I'm only going to have 2. But like for a person who drinks predominantly like high alcohol stouts, IPAs, and whiskey, to like rock a pina colada and a rum runner is going to be fantastic. And I told Julie that. I said, I think I'm going to force myself to have nothing but candy drinks if I drink alcohol the whole trip. Like, just force myself to have little fruit things.
You gotta change it up. You gotta be on vacation.
And again, I'm probably not going to drink that much anyway. But when I do, yeah, I'm gonna have it be like little candy, tiki drinks and stuff like that. I think that'll be fun. Anyway, at Magic Kingdom, this one I might even give up is Pirates of the Caribbean. I didn't know there's a cool like pirate treasure map fun mini game you can do, which ends with a fast pass on Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that it ended. I never finished it.
Okay, yeah, if you finish it, it takes about an hour to finish because you're wandering all over. And if you finish it, once you turn in the map, they immediately put you in the fast pass line for Pirates. So awesome. I might drop that. But Autumn recently watched all 5 Pirates 5 nights in a row. She was like, she was on spring break, but she was like, "No, Dad, we're watching each of these each and every night." And so when she saw that, I was like, "Yeah, it was a ride first." Yep. She was like, "Oh, we're going on that." So
heck yeah.
We have that.
Pirates
Julie,
stays. Pirates is one of my like all-time favorites.
Well, and Pirates, I didn't get to go the last time I went. My dad said it was probably stupid and didn't have us go on it. And my dad's not a soulless man. He just had it by the time we wanted to go on Pirates because we went back in the day where there was no such thing like this. You just wandered through the park aimlessly and prayed. And so it was a different world. It was a different time. It's a different time. Julie is the reason we are going to go do It's a Small World. Mm-hmm. And I said Autumn's either going to find it fascinating or the creepiest thing she's ever seen. And then I am definitely the impetus for the Haunted Mansion, and we got that after sundown.
Heck yeah. That's
I did a 7:05 to 8:05 p.m. Haunted Mansion fast pass, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, that's my second favorite in Magic Kingdom. That's a definite must do.
Yeah, I love it. And I told Autumn, it's not scary. You're in a car. You don't have to walk through it. I took her to a haunted house. It was one for kids. It was at the Y, but they did a lot of loud noises. And Autumn, she can tolerate loud noises. Like, she likes it in theaters and stuff. But if you're trying to scare her with loud noises, she doesn't really go for it. And the Haunted Mansion's a little more laid back. But I told her, trust me, it'll be fun. And before anyone's a jerk, yes, I'm well aware the Haunted Mansion's fully indoors. But the line's outdoors, so it's kind of fun to do it after dark or near dark.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, Animal Kingdom. We got Expedition Everest.
Yep.
Which that'll be when we, for once and for all, find out if Autumn's a big fan of roller coasters. We got Dinosaur. That was Autumn's big thing. And the Navi River Journey we got. That's another one I got at night. Awesome. We got 7:05 to 8:05 again.
Yeah, that's a cool one. That's just like the Haunted Mansion. That's a cool one to go on at nighttime, even though it's inside. It just adds to the ambiance of it. Going in.
Yeah. And to be clear, Animal Kingdom probably had the most where we wanted other ones too. Cause for some stupid reason, I really want to go on that Aerosmith roller coaster. But what was the one everyone was talking about? The physics one, the Zoom-in maybe it's the airplane one.
Yeah. The Soarin'.
Yeah. That Soarin'. One was Autumn's. If you can't get the Navi River, go on that.
Soarin' is Epcot. Soarin'.
Oh, Soarin' is Epcot. Okay, then that might be the one we want to grab after we do, because we do the Epcot Globe like right in the morning at 10 o'clock. So we're gonna try to get Soarin', and I think then maybe Aerosmith is also Epcot, but I can't remember.
Aerosmith is Hollywood.
Oh, okay. See, so my memory's already lapsing. It's only been 30 days. And
Yeah, Aerosmith, it is right next door to the Tower of Terror.
Oh, perfect. So if we have time, we'll get out of Tower of Terror and then maybe just jump on that.
There you go.
If the line's not too crazy, or if we can get lucky enough to get a late fast pass. And of course, as we go through the rides, we have a morning ride most times. We'll have a fast pass open to just jump into something if we want to. But there's one at that everyone was saying that's at there's one other one at Animal Kingdom. I forgot which one it was that everyone was like, you should jump on.
Is it the Safari?
Maybe it is the Safari.
Yeah.
So the other thing I thought was crazy was that Magic Kingdom has fast passes to like meet princesses and stuff, which I get. Like, but we've got the Chase Better Than You card is what I call it. Also, it's the credit card, and it's got an annual fee, so you already know it's something else. And it's the Disney Rewards one, so we get 10% off everything we buy at Disney, which might actually stack up, as Chip tells me. He goes, at the end of your trip, you'll have saved some money. And we also get rewards to spend at the Disney store. The irony is we won't get those rewards until after we've come home. But that does have, and we signed up for it through their website, certain times where you can go see princesses as like a private thing.
Oh, okay.
It's not really a private thing. It's just they move the princess indoors for like half an hour.
Yeah.
And card holders can go to it. So they just tell us when to go do it. Really saddened, though, that allegedly Elsa and Anna do not make appearances at the Disney parks at this time. Which actually probably saved me some turmoil, right? Because you can just be like, nope, sorry.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, sorry about that exhaustive thing. But yeah, that's what I was I was like, oh, yeah, these are the rides we're going to go on. So that's what I was most psyched about.
And
I have, sorry.
The Safari, in Animal Kingdom. If that is the one that you were thinking about, I want to say that would be the next one. That you want to try and get on in Animal Kingdom. Okay. It's an awesome little ride through, that you get to see a lot of animals, and you get to see like the scope. It's a huge like area that you're going through. And if possible, they do nighttime safaris, nighttime drive-throughs. That's an awesome experience too.
They've started selling it though, because I know the night that we're going, all the rides close at 8:30, like the lines close. Yeah. If you're in line, I think you can still stay until 9 or whatever.
Yep.
But there is like a special experience where you can stay till midnight.
Yeah.
And if you've got those wristbands on, you can join the line. But if you don't, you can't after 8:30.
After magic hours, I think it's called.
Yeah.
But there's...
And apparently that's how you get on the Flight of the Na'vi ride guaranteed.
Yep. Because there's a lot. Sometimes those sell out. And they're like, even when they sell out though, it's nowhere near as crazy as it is during the day. So if you want to spend the extra money, I mean, that's
it's not cheap. To be clear, people, it's more than a 1-day pass.
Yeah. It's crazy
at retail.
what they do. But there's people that freaking do it and do it with
and apparently the whole park is dope at night. So,
it is.
So, and then the last part, though, there's no explanation for this. So don't worry, Los. This won't be another story. Is food. I'm looking forward to seeing some of the food at Disney. We have a kitchen in our condo because we're doing an actual resort. Like it's a timeshare resort. I didn't trade a timeshare or anything. I just bought at a timeshare. Mm-hmm. So we have a full kitchen with gas stove and everything. Yep. And so we're going to cook breakfast every morning. Julie and I are predominantly we call it paleo, but like berries, fruits, veggies, and eggs and meat. And so because of that, and we kind of can drag ass if we eat terribly every night or if we eat terribly all day, every day.
Yep.
So what we're going to do is we're going to pack bag lunches. Autumn's not much of a lunch eater anyway. And so we're going to pack bag lunches, which I'm told you can bring those into the park and get like a locker and put them up there. Is that true?
Yeah, you could bring, if you're going to do that, I would bring a book bag.
That's what we were going to do and embed it. I have a messenger bag and we were going to just find a locker near like the front before we start our day. And we've got the sandwiches in there and they're going to have like ice packs and stuff. And we're just going to put them in a locker and then come back to them for lunch. But the idea is we eat breakfast before we go. We eat like a bag lunch and then it doesn't matter if it's ridiculously expensive. If it's $150, we just get whatever we want for dinner. Go into a food coma.
Yeah.
Because we're going to do it after our, or rather right before our late night fast passes, I would guess. Or maybe we'll eat really late. I've been told that happens a lot at Disney.
Yeah.
Get into a food coma and then you just go back to the hotel and hibernate, so.
Yep. Yeah, that would be the best way to do it, because if you're going to the parks, like you get up in the morning and you're like flying out the door, you get to the park, you're going to be buying breakfast, lunch, and dinner at the park. Forget about it. You might as well be staying an extra week and going to the parks an extra week. Because
I hate to say it, but park food, it's fine. But if I'm eating, a McGriddle for breakfast, the wonderful, glorious, can't touch it McGriddle, and then I'm grabbing, a corn dog or whatever for lunch. Mm-hmm. By day 4, I'm going to be dragging ass because it's not even like there's no nutrition and then there's no nutrition and there's very little in park food, right? And you can do salads and stuff, but then you're paying an arm and a leg. And so I figured that was the best balance was we just be complete gluttons for dinner.
Yeah.
And we just do the best we can for breakfast and lunch.
That's a good plan.
And it's not even for savings. It's more for just it's on the go food, right?
Yeah. Yeah. There's very few places that I would say, okay, you need to go here to eat, because it's like you said, theme parks, you're going to get theme park food. There's not much you could do to theme park food to make it extravagant. It's going to be cool to go and experience certain things. Like if you go to the Magic Kingdom and you don't get the Dole Whip, pineapple ice cream thing.
Writing it down.
You're a fool if you don't do that. Or
Dole Whip pineapple ice cream thing. Okay.
Yeah. You don't know about the Dole Whip?
No, by all means.
Okay. All right. So put that on your list of things to do in Magic Kingdom. Just Dole Whip with a little checkbox next to it. And make sure that gets checked. And there's like certain snacks or whatever that you'll probably want to jump on, like, the Mickey.
And we'll snack, of course.
Mickey ear ice cream, things like that. It's stuff like that is okay. But for meals, like, there's not, like, if you could bring in your bag lunch, that is what you need to do. That's the best idea that I could give you, that you could do.
And the other good news is there is a grocery store 3 blocks from our resort.
Hell yeah. So that's how you do it. That's the best way with the kitchen and your room and everything. That's awesome planning on your part. And if I could recommend one place to go for dinner,
I'm all ears. Yeah.
The one place that I would say most definitely you need to get to and have dinner at, if you're picking a place, Animal Kingdom Lodge.
Animal Kingdom Lodge.
They have a place called Boma, and it is a buffet that they have various foods, like African inspired cuisine, like lots of spices and things like that. It's awesome food. And
nice.
It is worth the money, especially if you're just going to, if you want the experience, if you want to go check it out.
Yeah, no, because I think the other one was, and I think it's at Epcot, is the Elsa and Anna, like, and it's probably cheesy food, but they're like their town,
I think I heard about that.
They're like eatery or something. And I told Autumn, I said, okay, you know what? We're there on Easter Sunday. If you would like to, Lent's over. If you'd like to eat at Elsa and Anna's Lodge, cool. And if you don't like the food, we'll let you take a look at it, and we'll walk away.
Yeah, I know that place too. I walked by it and have been tempted. So I know what you're talking about. And
again, I think the one thing that Chip said might even be doable for us is Hollywood Studios is can't you like rubber stamp and then come back to the parks?
I want to say they still do that. I mean, that should be part of your ticket. 1 day, 1 park kind of thing. That should work for like all day. So
and we'll check it. But what we want to do is maybe we can sneak out for Hollywood and head to like Disney Springs or somewhere around there, get dinner, and then come back to the park to wrap it up, especially on a day that's not so taxing. I think Magic Kingdom, again, the goal is to eat in the parks for dinner. And just see what we want to do. And my wife is just, I mean, if she was on the internet, she'd be in our food porn channel the whole time. Cause she's just like, she always does that stuff. Yeah. She's like, where are we going for our anniversary? I want to look at the menu. Well, honey, it's next month. I know. Like I said, she looked at the menu for the dessert thing, right? Just like, I know what I want. I already know what I want. And then I want to have it go through my body so that I can eat more before it's over. So she just, food's something for her. The only 2 mild downsides with our daughter is our daughter's allergic to shrimp, not shellfish, although we've never given her shellfish either. But she, she's eaten at seafood places where, when they watch for a shrimp allergy, but like, where there's no danger. And she is allergic to peanuts, but the good news here is she's not like largely allergic to peanuts. And she doesn't like the flavor of peanuts, so she can detect them. But she can eat stuff where it's like in the plant as peanuts. She's not allergic to tree nuts, so all other nuts are on the table. And if she eats something that's peanut butter based or has like even a few raw peanuts ground up and stuff like that, her throat gets a little itchy. She doesn't think anything of it. She doesn't even necessarily need Benadryl. And so we're pretty good on that. And so we're not too limited on anything. My daughter is the pickiest damn eater in the universe, though. I swear to God.
Yep. Sounds all right.
Yeah, you looking for fish sticks and cheeseburgers on every menu. Yeah. So, but yeah. So, did we miss anything?
I don't know. I mean, I think we covered a good amount. But I know for Magic Kingdom, I wanted to let you know. You mentioned that there was a scavenger hunt kind of thing. Also, there is a kind of card game. It's called Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom.
Okay.
And that is another good way to like explore the park and have fun. You walk in, when you scan your ticket and you walk into the park, right before you get into Main Street, over to your left, there's going to be a building, and it's going to say Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom. You go in there, you scan your magic band, one of you, and it starts the game. They give each of you a pack of cards and a map, and you go around the entire park. You don't have to. You can just collect the cards if you want. And there's portals set up around the park, and you scan your band, and it's an interactive game where you take the cards that they gave you and you hold it up and they cast spells,
nice
in the portal. So
I'm in. We're going to do that. Yeah.
It is. We started doing that, when we went a few times recently, and it was crazy busy and we didn't have any rides or whatever. It's a good way to just walk around and have fun and do all that. So
sweet. So that's I'll definitely check it out. Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom. I got it written down next to Dole Whip.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, I want to settle a bet. Sorry to bring this up out of the blue. Jaws. Jaws is no longer at Universal, right?
It's gone.
Right.
The actual shark is there. Yes. You could go and take a picture with Jaws.
Yes. Autumn has seen Jaws.
Yeah.
And likes Jaws because I'm a terrible parent. I told you. But yeah. That's cool that Jaws is there. Yeah. I actually heard they had to shut that ride down because the machine killed someone. I don't know if that's true.
I don't think that's true. I don't think.
Well, I need to Snopes it. Yeah. But I said, you know what I was telling Julie? I said, do you know what's more terrifying than being eaten by a man-eating shark? Being destroyed by a mechanical version of a man-eating shark at a theme park. My God, that is nightmare fuel. That is my hell.
Yeah.
I'm not scared of a lot of things, Los. That falling in the water with that mechanical shark, that scares the shit out of me.
Yeah. Well, when I was growing up, when we were just going on vacation, and my parents, they got me to go on Jaws for the first time by telling me that it's just a tour.
Oh yeah. Because in California, it's just the Universal tour, but I did go to Universal and we went on all the rides. In fact, I bet you'll laugh because I bet none of these rides still exist, but we went on Jaws. And I remember that you go in the boathouse and he tries to shoot Jaws and it blows up and Jaws is on fire. When Jaws is on fire and attacks the boat, like that ride was dope back in the day.
It was good.
But it was scary as hell.
Well, I'll join your bad parenting. The kids, they love Jaws too. And we I told them, I'm like, hey, we told them there used to be a Jaws ride and there's videos all over. Like I don't know if you explore YouTube at all for theme parks, but there's a few theme park specific YouTube channels where they have all sorts of old rides that you could, and
they've got like video of the rides.
Yeah, they got video of the rides and everything and all that. So
I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah, they go through the whole ride and it's awesome. And it's a good way
will definitely have to check that out.
It's a good way to look at old rides the way they used to be.
So is E.T. gone?
E.T. is still there.
Oh, okay.
We go there all the time. It's still awesome to go through that. That's like one of the most nostalgic lines that you could get on because, you know, you go through the line, you're going through a forest and it smells like the pine trees and all that.
Yeah, I love that. Is Back to the Future there?
For E.T.
Oh, sorry.
E.T. recently, they got closed down for a few days because some kid lost their foot. Yeah. So, the ride, it's a moving ride and it was coming at the end. So the ride, the car, it was pulling up to the platform where you get off of it at.
I know how he did it.
And he had his foot dangling off the edge.
Off the bike, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it just ripped his foot right off. And yeah, so now they do, when you're about to reach the platform, they stop you and they have people there to tell you, please keep your arms and feet inside. And, you know, they keep that extra precaution, but that recently happened. So that's something.
They're going to be extra cautious right now. Yeah. Is Back to the Future there?
Back to the Future is gone, sadly.
Okay. No, actually, that's actually good news for me. But yeah, that was a great ride.
The Simpsons took its place.
I didn't know there was a Simpsons ride.
Yeah. And the Simpsons ride is kind of lacking for me, and I think that's partially because it took Back to the Future's place. And
makes sense.
And I'm kind of upset still about that. So, but
well, so I don't know if you know this, but I have an experiment going with my daughter. We're not going to show her Back to the Future and see until she's 16. And we're going to see if she sees the zany, happy-go-lucky time traveler movie like we all grew up with, or if she thinks this is one screwed up incest tale that like really should not exist.
Oh man. There's too many ways it could go. It's bad.
So it's this crazy science experiment, and I'm not kidding. We just don't talk about Back to the Future, and she just doesn't know it exists. And it's too bad because it's a really fun movie, but I'm curious to see how she'll do. But yeah, like I said, I'm just super psyched, and having this discussion is just making it grow.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the main reason why to do it, and that's why, you know, it sucks Beardy wasn't here. I know talking about it and getting all pumped up it's part of the excitement. So that was one of the main reasons. I know a lot of people would probably dig this episode, you know, unless they're planning trips or unless they're Disney heads and they liked hearing about the theme parks and all that stuff. But I'm probably going to mark this as a bonus episode.
That's cool.
And, you know, go about it like that. But,
yeah, if you don't know, I can talk for a long time about video games too. I'm just not going to put Los through that at this point. Well, and one last thing I definitely just wanted to say as a closing thing, because you were great about this and it's inevitable whenever you start talking about a Disney trip, especially if you're planning one, that this comes up. Is eventually somebody says, you know, the things I've read and seen, because people really, I mean, like Lowe's is like Hogwarts. He comes up to me with like 17 encyclopedias, one that's screaming and locked, and he just thumps them down on a desk, and he's like, all right, I'll see you next week. You get back to me. You got to read this shit, okay? It's going to be long. You're going to want to give up, but don't. Just go to bed and try it again tomorrow. And you get discouraged. And ideally, you don't get discouraged early on. And to be fair, man, you were always awesome. None of your comments were discouraging. If I asked you to level with me about stuff, you'd kind of hesitantly tell me like stuff if it was going to be negative, but you weren't. Whereas, like you said about that universal fan page, like some people just born to bitch. And I think as a society, we are at this point in society, we are much better at what I like to call bitch culture than anything else. The base negativity of the universe is the most tempting way to act. And I recently had a friend. She just went. I think this is probably the friend that I referenced recently, the one that hated kids.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
She's just to give perspective, she's a millennial. She is in her late 20s. She is gay. Not that that matters, but she's not looking to have a traditional, opposite sex spouse, and also does not want to have kids. Not related to her sexuality, just, that's her situation. Okay.
Yep.
And not super happy fun with kids either.
Mm-hmm.
She planned a trip and just got back. So she went, amidst what you can probably contest to is one of the craziest times to be at Disney right now.
Yes.
She just got back, did 4 days, 2 of those days being weekend days. She did Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Not the days I would suggest. Saturday's the one that stands out to me the most.
Mm-hmm.
And I still don't know. I'll let you know if Easter Sunday is a blessing or a curse to go to the park. I think it'll be a 50-50 split.
Typically holidays, it's insanity.
Okay.
Yeah.
The only thing going for us is we're going to Epcot.
Yeah. Yeah. You might be all right. You might be all right.
And again, in Epcot, but here's the thing I'll tell you. She went the 4 days. She was at the Magic Kingdom on a Friday. Also not something I would suggest. She got fast passes to most of the stuff she wanted. Not everything. And she came to terms with that in advance. And she got up every morning and went to the park at a relatively leisurely pace. I think she said she arrived at the park between 9 and 11 every day. They went out every night. Not like crazy. She's not like a drinker or anything like that, but they went out for drinks and stayed up, till at least 11 every night. Just planned for only her fast pass stuff, and then anything else was bonus. Liked to explore the parks. Definitely enjoyed the Pirates thing. She surprisingly didn't tell me about the Sorcerers thing, so I wonder if she didn't notice it. Or it was too crazy. Yeah. But you know what she said? Despite the crowds and everything, she had a blast. She had a really fun time. She says the fast passes and the planning really make it easy. And so some people may look at those and say, I only got to do that stuff. But she says, if you go there just looking to have a good time, see some great parks, and ride a handful of rides every day, it was a fantastic experience. Huh? And it was her first and only time having been at Disney. And that is somebody who was there, right? Like I said, during the core time. As I understand it, it's during one of the 2 weeks of East Coast's spring breaks.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
if she can go and have a blast out of the blue, I really feel anybody, especially if it's your first trip, is going to have a blast as long as they just take the time to do the things we talked about.
Yep. I was expecting a horror story.
No, she came back with a smile ear to ear.
Yeah. Yeah. It's about how you go into it, because, if you're going like your situation where you haven't been in forever, your wife and your daughter never went, it's something that you could go in and you could be expecting it to be this grand thing where you're going to do everything that you want to do and you're not going to have any problems and all. And that's just like a pipe dream. It's not going to happen anywhere near that. But if you go, open-minded, just going with the flow, like, knowing that you're there to just have fun and that, being there is enough for you, and whatever you get to do is a bonus, then you already won. Like you're done. You already had a great time, because it's one of those things that if you're just going for a few days, micromanaging, you can't. Don't do it.
I'm not saying people need to go for 7 days. People have tons of fun with like 3-4 day trips.
Yeah.
Even 2 day trips. But yeah, exactly like you said. Like our neighbors went to Magic Kingdom for a 2 day trip. They just went on a Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah.
And they flew out Monday, flew back Thursday, and they just got fast passes and rolled with it. Mm-hmm. And they had a good time. Again, it's just as much or as little as you want to make of it. The one thing that I think I asked you, and I can't remember if this was your response or if this was the guy on the phone, because I asked him too when I called Disney. I said, but if I get a fast pass, Like, barring the ride shutting down for various reasons, that's like a guarantee I'll get to ride that ride. And I don't remember if it was you or him, and he was guaranteed you'll ride the ride. Sure. Guaranteed you'll ride the ride specifically within the time period you were given. That's debatable.
Yeah, that was him. That wasn't me.
Okay.
But it is true. It is very true. But it's one of those things, you know, even if the ride does shut down, and if you're in the line, like, let's say you get in the line and you get halfway through or whatever, the ride shuts down. It happens, you know, there's a very good chance that they will give you a replacement fast pass.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not losing out on anything.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
But
and I mean, that happens. Like I said, Space Mountain, I know everybody wants to go on. That was broken when I went last time.
I see.
And I think that's the only reason I have no I'm sure it'll be fun, and if we can get one, cool, but I have no strong desire to do it. I know it's a cool ride. But yeah.
Yeah, and you kind of, I don't know, like, it's, you're not going to be here for that long, and it's your first time in a while, but when rides break down, it's kind of special. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird, you know, because like for Haunted Mansion, we went on it once and it broke down and we were stuck in there for like 5 minutes.
Oh man.
And then they decided, okay, it's not going to work. We got to get everybody out. So
they got to come like escort you out.
Yeah. So they turned on all the lights and you're escorted out. And it's an awesome experience being able to see that, because you never see that. You never see what it looks like in there with the lights on. And it's just something really cool that you get to experience. And they don't let you take pictures, you know, so
that makes sense. Yeah.
So
next thing you know, you'll have a fucking YouTube video where you're just showing off all the rides.
Exactly. Yeah. And there's some of those. There's some of those too.
Yeah, I bet there are. All right, Adam, we didn't get to go on this. We're going to go home to the hotel room and YouTube it.
Do a VR YouTube.
I know that's in there. I remember that when I had the Oculus, was there were people who were trying to recreate all the rides from Disney in VR. Yeah. But yeah, we're psyched. We're going to be laid back. We're going to have some fun. We're going to spend a shitload of money.
Yep. Make it rain.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Well, I hope you guys have fun. You know, we'll be here. We'll see about meeting up if we have time. You know, usually when people come down to visit, to go to Disney, I don't usually like to say, hey, let's do something, because, you know, you're here on your time. You're doing your thing with your family. So, you know, you're not.
Oh yeah. It's pretty crazy. I know we're at Disney Springs just kind of hanging out most of the day before Avengers at 2. And so that's where I was like, now I don't know what I'm saying by suggesting this, but it's like, oh, if you want to drop by there and we can meet up somewhere, just say hi.
Yep.
Or, you know, something like that. That might be cool. But I might also be inviting you to people hell. And it's just not how you were planning to spend a Saturday morning. So, you know, like I said, we can play it by ear.
Yeah, we'll figure it out, and we'll see if we can do something, because
it's cool. The kids are in school. Just come meet me out there at Disney. It's fine. We'll play the Sorcerer game together. It'll be great.
Yeah, I'll hook you up with the 20% discount.
There you go. So
yeah. Anything closing before we leave? Before we close out?
Nah, I just think it'll be fun. I just think it'll be a blast. Can't wait to do it.
I know you'll have fun.
One question you have to be the one to answer. I wanted Beardy to be in on this too. But the big debate going on right now behind the scenes with me and several people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm bringing my laptop. Have you heard the newest GHX where I talked very briefly about this?
I did not. No.
Okay. That's fine. So I'm bringing my laptop because Friday night we'll finish up Animal Kingdom, and it'll be that like kind of refreshing. We check out at noon the next morning from the hotel, and I go pick up the car that morning at like 10. So we're going to have that refreshing getting back from Animal Kingdom. Disney's done. The week's done. We're now in relax mode, like true blue vacation mode, chill mode. You know, we're going to go see Avengers on Saturday. We're going to the beach Sunday. My daughter's never seen the ocean. Dope ass shit, you know?
Yep.
And so I've got the laptop because they charge, believe it or not, at this resort, like $19.99 a day for Wi-Fi. And you know it's going to be bad hotel Wi-Fi.
Holy crap.
So I'm not doing that. I have a Plex server, so I'm just copying over my Blu-ray rips of Infinity War. And my laptop's got an HDMI out, so I'm just going to watch Infinity War that night or that next morning.
There you go.
So I'm bringing my laptop for that, because Autumn wants to watch Infinity War right before we see Endgame. That makes sense. So because the laptop is a non-issue, like there's no choice, I'm bringing that. The question became, do I waste very useful carry-on luggage space and I use scare quotes when I say waste, for the Switch, which I don't really have anything I'm dying to play on the Switch at this very moment. I don't have anything, and Trees tries in the episode to convince me to get a new game for this trip. And I just told him I didn't feel real confident I'm going to have a whole lot of free time to play games outside of the flight.
Yep.
What I have been just teetering with a little bit is I've been playing a little bit of that Samus Returns on the 3DS. And the 3DS very conveniently can slip into a small pocket on my laptop case. And have its charger with it. And it's the 3DS. It's a little more portable, shall we say, than the Switch. So the question is 3DS or the Switch. I'm getting a lot of pressure to bring the Switch.
I think the only, and this is speaking from experience as somebody who lived out of state and who planned Disney vacations, you ain't gonna have time to do shit.
Thank you. So you're saying neither. You're like, fucking, why waste the space and worry about losing it?
Yeah, there's gonna be no time for nothing. I mean, you're gonna have some spare time, but that spare time you're gonna spend like trying to calm your ass down. And if I think you're like me. I don't think we're very different, but I always brought everything that I would need. I always brought my Switch. I always bought whatever. I never wound up playing anything whenever I was on vacation.
That's everyone's story. That is mine as well.
And you're going to be on a flight that is usually the only time that I would try and play something. And you know, that's basically the most time I would have, because, you know, vacation mode is vacation mode. You're going balls to the wall, you know, every day doing something. So, well, and I should point out my laptop that I'm bringing is a gaming laptop. It has a graphics card and everything, so I can download like, I mean, if I was really feeling frisky, I could download like a, you know, like a more modern game and play like, you know, a stripped down version of it. Most of the time I end up just downloading my Magic the Gathering game and playing that. but yeah, so like I'll have plain entertainment, you know, and I'm going to put a handful of movies on from my Plex onto my laptop if I just want to watch a movie, which might be where I end up splitting the difference. I would say this. If you do want to bring a game console, the best bet would be the 3DS. The Xbox One, I know. bring the 3DS, right? Mm-hmm. And find yourself a copy of Disney's Magical World. Okay. And you know, use that as, you know, something to enhance the experience that's going on. Yeah, because I'll tell you, Kingdom Hearts on 3DS is not doing it. No, you don't. No,
Nope.
that's torture. You don't want to do that.
Nope, ain't gonna do it.
You need something very, very chill that's still gonna have you in the mood. And I think Disney's Magical World, I think there's two of them. There's part 1, part 2. But both of them, you'll be good. That's like a good, detox for the day, I think. Even if you're settling down, tired and all that, pop that on for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and you'll get something.
My other backup is always Trees has been pushing this on me, but I've been dying to play them is those Theater Rhythm Final Fantasy games, which are just little like rhythm games.
Yep. Something.
Anyway, Disney's Magical World. I gotta stop right by my work. I'll just duck in there. I went in there twice. I'm trying to find that Mickey Mouse Gamer shirt you found. I can't find it. I want to wear it through the park. Oh yeah, because that's the last thing here's what I'll close on. So my wife and we are similar individuals. So she, of course, wants our clothes to be jokes.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm going to be, for like one of our days at Universal, I have a Jurassic Park t-shirt that looks kind of like the classic Jurassic Park t-shirt.
Yep.
But it's got a big bloody rip in the back. Mm-hmm. And it says park staff on it. And the other thing, Julie got was these shirts, and they both say broke in the Disney script.
Yes.
With the O as the Mickey Mouse ears. And Autumn's got this shirt that is just exploding with color. And it says best day ever with a bunch of sparkles all over it. And we're going to wear that on Magical Kingdom Day.
Yeah. There's so many good shirts. And those are my favorite ones. Whenever we're going to the park, I always get a kick out of the ones that mention how much money it's taking to be there.
Oh yeah, and here's the other one. Because like I've got a poop emoji T-shirt. I fully intend to wear one day to one of the parks. I got as a really awkward birthday present like 2 years ago a Darth Vader T-shirt where he says, "Who's your daddy?" I'm sure that was at like Target or something. Do you think that's appropriate for Hollywood Studios, or is that not appropriate?
I have the same shirt, and I wear it to Hollywood Studios.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll be wearing that.
It's very appropriate. It's very good.
I'll be wearing that. But yeah. And Autumn's got this great shirt. I don't know who found this one, but it's got Rey on the front looking all heroic and everything. And the joke's on the back. On the back, it says, "My parents are nobodies."
Oh, man.
Or "My parents were nobodies" or something. And I said, she's got to wear that to the park. So we've got a lot of fun stuff like that. So we're trying to have like slightly edgy humor, but nothing offensive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sadly, I think the most offensive thing I'm planning to wear is the poop emoji. And I still, I'm on the fence about that one. But yeah, So yeah, that's the other thing is we're having some fun with the clothes.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Yeah. So, all right, man. Well, I'm guessing you're probably hoping to wrap up. We've closed out this show like 7 times.
Yeah, I think I'm starting to hear the kid tossing and turning now. So
you're just gonna be like,
it's about that time.
Have a show.
No, I had fun. I'm glad. I would totally do this more often, but it's a pretty
quit.
Niche.
No, we need to make it a rarity.
Yeah. Well, I have my own little dreams of having a podcast for my food blog, my blog.
Nice.
But that's, far-fetched. So.
Well, we've got time. We'll pitch ideas off each other. I've got your email or your direct message. We can chat. But yeah. And so, like I said, in closing, thanks a bunch for all of your help. It definitely made, my trip more enjoyable, and people would be surprised to hear that, all my kidding aside for the volumes of stuff he told me to read, barring 3 pretty long messages when I first approached you for it, it's been a pretty light amount of communication. You just kind of were like, this is how it works. Don't worry about it. Yep, this is how it works.
You can't
worry
stress
about it.
You cannot stress it. It's gonna be crazy enough as it is. You know, you don't need a manuscript to follow, but
yeah. And you were always like, look, this is going to look stressful. Just stay calm. And it's not, don't let it stress you out. I remember you saying that a couple times. You were just like, don't let that get in over your head. So, and now that it's about to happen, yeah, I am good. I am good. So,
yep. And we always have the Discord chat. So if you're hearing this and you're curious about whatever, we got a channel going, and that's going to be like, I'm going to throw some videos in there that we talked about and all that stuff. So
yeah, I might be a little quiet for a while, but I'll be back. That's another thing I'm bringing that's going to help me a lot is those battery packs, those USB battery packs where I can charge my phone in the middle of the day.
Yep.
I got a pretty big one. So. All righty.
All right. Thank you very much. Hope you have fun.
I will. I know I will. I'll make my own fun, damn it. If nothing else. I'll sit in the corner with my own Legos. I'll be fine.
All right.
All right, man.